Verse 16, thus said Yahweh, stand in the ways and see and ask for the old paths where the good way is and walk in it and find rest for yourselves. But they said, we do not walk in it. Oh, that was for them. This is for us now. This is the dispensational thing being attacked right here by Yahweh saying, don't you dispensation this stuff. Don't say that was then and this is now. You go through Christianity, though, and it's all dispensation. Well, that was for Israel, and that was for the Jews, or that was for back then, or that was. You know, I can't tell you how many times in this ministry, since I started all those years ago, I've heard the question, well, how much of the Old Testament actually transfers forward into the New? All of it? I don't get the question. What do you mean? Well, they're thinking through what? The dispensational mindset. They've been taught a certain way. It's hard for them to embrace that there is no dispensation. That what was given is for everyone forever. Oh, no, but that was for them and not for us. The only way the them and not for us works, if it was for a woman and you're a man, or for a man and you're a woman, well, yeah, that is for them and not for you. Or it's for a priest and not for a regular layperson. Well, then that's not for you either. Yes, but that's always been. If you don't meet the criteria of it, then no, it's not for you. But the Torah has always been for Israel, and those who are part of the covenant have always been called Israel. So to say that was for Israel and not for us, well, then you missed the whole point. The whole point is you're supposed to be part of them. They are the root. Romans 11, the tree, the root is the Torah observant Israel. Or in this case, when Paul's talking, the visible Israel is Judah. They are the root. We're grafting into that root. All the early believers were Jewish, Torah observant. And if they weren't, they were up for this kind of chastisement. Because they were what? They were part of the people called my people. Once you attach yourselves, you graft in, you covenant. What is the covenant? Exodus 19, verses 5 and 6, where Yahweh said, if you agree to do everything I say, but you have to have circumcised ears to do that, by the way. If you agree to do everything I say, I agree to take you as my people. Anybody can covenant that covenant. You do not need to be born Jewish or Israel or this or that. It doesn't matter. That's what Paul explains about grafting in. However, when you graft in, you're subject to that covenant, that everything he said you must do. Of course, I'm talking about only the parts that apply to you, meaning if you're a woman or a man, then the parts that apply to the other one doesn't apply to you. If you're not a priest, then the stuff that applies to a priest doesn't apply to you. Because of who and what you are, not because of where you came from in your beliefs. It's not like this is for the Gentiles and this is for Israel. I can't tell you how many verses we talked about in the identity of Israel. It says, and there is one law for both the Gentile, or the stranger, or the ger, really, which is the proselyte stranger, and the native born. But see, what causes all this problem? A thought process. And where does that thought process come from? Well, all of your life experience. You've been told your whole life that that's for somebody else. It's not for you. Matter of fact, I've said this often, the one thing that the Jew and the Gentile agree on is that the Torah is not for you. The Jews don't think it's for you. Of course, they embrace it as the greatest thing they have possession of. And the Gentile doesn't think it's for you because they think it's a burden that nobody can bear, blah, 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 and that you shouldn't want it. And they're both wrong. The Torah is for everybody who wants the covenant, the Exodus 19 covenant. It's for everybody. That's why Abraham, at the very beginning of this, is told, you're going to be the father of many Gentiles. You're going to be that light that's going to cause a blessing to the nations. How's that all work? Well, once this all comes out through the seed of Abraham, the word gets out to everyone, they can make this choice to be a part of this. That mixed multitude that came out of Egypt is an example. They weren't all Israel. They were a mixed multitude. When they crossed the Jordan, 40 years later, they were just Israel. And no, the Goyim that mixed in didn't decide to just go somewhere else. They assimilated in. And we can see that in the lineages and the names of those who are being counted in the censuses. Some of them are not coming from Israel lineage. but they have been assimilated and grafted in by choice. They chose to come and be a part.